and a friend of mine, my only friend. This is my buddy Fox.
Hello.
And not only am I going to need Fox's help, but I need two of your guys' help actually as well. No one's real excited to do this, but that's okay. I'm going to make you. Here we go. Let's go ahead. Sitting on this side of the room, you have brown hair, about yay long, probably Jennifer, probably. That's what I guess. Over here, short blonde buzzed hair, Steve, probably, yeah. Steve, so Jennifer and Steve, you guys are gonna help me, and my buddy Fox. Here's what we need though. I'm gonna have you guys pick cards. You got your marker, right? I'm gonna have you guys pick some cards, and I'm gonna find each of these three cards in increasingly difficult fashion. But before we do that, I need to look for one card, and we're just gonna keep it down there. It's just like a keeper, a placeholder, if you will. So we're gonna put that card right there. Do me a favor, will you just put your hand on that card, make sure that, yep, that's perfect, awesome. All right, here we go. We're gonna have these, and here's what I need. We're gonna pick these cards. Fox, I'm gonna riffle my thumb down just like this, and whenever you say stop, I'll stop.
Stop.
Right there? Okay, here we go. Got 1, 2, 3 cards. Let's take a look. What do we have? The 5 of hearts, 5 of hearts, Queen of spades, and 7 of clubs. Here we go. Let's do this. Jennifer, I'm going to have you remember the Queen of spades. All right, you remember the Queen of spades. And Steve, that 7 of clubs, that one's yours. You got it. Now, Fox, you're going to hold on to the 5 of hearts for me. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to write your name on that card. Are you right-handed? Okay, this should be fun. Here we go. And really, I mean, if I'm being honest, there's no reason. Your left-handed writing looks better than my right-handed writing, so that's pretty good. There's really no reason for me to do this, other than I just like to collect cards with names on them.
That's weird.
That's weird. I don't think I'm gonna say that anymore. My bad. Okay, here we go. Jennifer, you're gonna be the first one. Here we go. We'll take your Queen of spades. Take your Queen of spades, and we're gonna put it in the middle, and then we'll cut the deck up and lose your card in the middle. We'll shuffle it up even. All right, the next one, we're gonna take the 7 of clubs. Steve, that's yours. You remember the 7? Here we go. And then Fox, last but not least, we're gonna take your card. We'll take your card last, put it in the middle. Your card with your name on it in the middle. Shuffled up, mixed into the deck, just like this. Now remember, I'm gonna find these 3 cards in increasingly difficult fashion. So, and here's the first one. Just like that. The 7 of clubs. Steve, your card jumps up to the top. Here we go, we'll put that right in there. Now, the next one. Here we go. Jennifer, this is yours. All we gotta do is I'm gonna drop these cards just like this. And you're gonna say stop. I'm gonna listen for you to say stop. And whenever you say it, I'm gonna stop. And your card is gonna end up right on top there, okay? Here we go. Right there. Did you hear it? I heard it. There it is. Your card, the Queen of spades, the 9 of diamonds. Okay. Fine. Here we go. Let's try it again. We'll try it again. That's okay. You remember, just like we practiced, Jennifer. Come on. Tell me when to stop. Ah! Nope, that doesn't count. Right here, your card, the Queen of spades, just like that. Okay. 10 clubs. Nope. You know what? No, actually, that wouldn't make it any more difficult. What would make it more difficult is if I had your card folded up inside my wallet. That would be a bit more difficult. And take it here. Actually, I'm going to come and take a look. In here, there's one card and one card only. It is your Queen of spades. Just like that. Sweet. All right, and here we go. We'll put that in there as well. Just like that. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how we find 3 cards.
But, hey, you didn't find my card, dude.
Oh.
I'm standing right here.
You are. No, actually I did from the beginning. You remember in the beginning you had your hand on one card before you wrote your name on a card, before any cards were selected, you had your hand on a card. Go ahead, do me a favor, pick up your hands. The last one that we just found was that Queen of spades The one right before that was the 7 of clubs, but the card that you've had your hand on from the beginning, before anything was written down, was your 5. All right, guys, hey, that's it. I hope you enjoy your church service, and we'll see you guys next time. Hey, what's up, guys? Church.
Hello? Yeah, I turned mine on. I was ahead of you.
Well done. Well, hey, thank you to David Wood out in California for doing that fun trick there. We are glad you're here. This is week 9. Week 9 of Youth Group Live. So week 9. It's actually magical. We jumped from 7 to 9 because last week I said 7, but it was 8. So this is week 9 right here. So week 9 of Youth Group Live.
This is just like your top 11 list of 10 movies.
Okay. You're not going to let that go, are you?
Nope.
Okay, well, it is. This is actually week 9. We are glad that you are here. We're glad that you are joining us. My name is Jack Janagian. I am pastor of student ministries here at Solid Rock, and I worked mainly with Lighthouse, our high school ministry. This guy over here,
Scott. I'm just going to start going by one name, Scott.
Scott. Okay, like Cher, Madonna.
Prince.
Scott. Just said a bunch of people in middle schoolers have no idea who any of them are. So anyhow, LeBron. There you go. Just Scott. Okay, with his I shirt on there for Ignite Middle School Ministry. Hey Scott, have you gone and looked upstairs at all?
I have. I was just up there. I went up there and I took a Gatorade.
Okay, it is. It's looking pretty good, isn't it?
We're making progress. I mean, you could see progress happening.
Yeah,
it's
and
awesome.
Carpet is going in next week. That middle school room is going to be ready to go. Hopefully, like as soon as we meet, which is
now we just got to get students in there.
And our big announcement: our first Wednesday night gathering here at the church is still to be determined.
I was going to say I didn't know. You just totally got me.
That was dramatic. Okay, dramatic for nothing. Hey, we are glad you're here. We got a full schedule tonight. We got all the favorites. Isaiah's video, Wheel Unfortunate. Would You Rather is back.
I like Would You Rather.
Everybody likes Would You Rather. So we also have a segment that we've done a couple times now called "The Middle Schooler Made It" and Jack Found It. So that started strong. That started week 1. We had Dan Onichuk and Molly. We actually had two videos from Molly.
Molly was good that night. Yeah, Dano was good too. That was good.
I'm waiting for more music from Molly. I'm kind of hoping some are going to appear in the World Wide Web that I can find. But no music from Molly this week. But speaking of Dan, and Dan, who is in Ignite, and he's got an older brother, Tim, who's also
Timo and Dano
in Ignite. Oh wait, hang on. I was just reminded here. I'm hearing in my piece here that we have forgotten. Wow, I forgot. Before we get to Tim and Dan, now they are a little bit anxious. They're a little bit anxious because they know they're about to be on screen.
What video are you going to show?
What video? Tim, this is your fault. You have a lot of videos on YouTube. Okay, you have a whole channel, and some of that stuff's been out there for a few years. But I forgot. We got to give stuff away.
Let's give stuff away.
Give stuff away. So here's how it works. If you've been with us the last few weeks, in the comments on YouTube or on Facebook, you need to type in winner and your name. Winner and your name.
So I would go winner, Scott.
You got it. It's only taking you 3 weeks, but you figured it out. Okay, you can also text my phone number, 248-724-6883. If you want to do that, that gets you there as well. But otherwise, if you text in, put winner in your name. If you put on Facebook or YouTube, winner in your name. Okay, this is eligible for anybody, okay? Siblings, if you're watching, younger siblings, you can get this. We had a 5th grader win last week.
We had a grandma win last week.
We did have a grandma, a really old grandma. So I don't even know how she watches. Love you, Doris. But anyhow, send those in. We're going to give stuff away here in just a few minutes. But before we do that, a middle schooler made it. Jack found it. This is the title of this video was Comedy Gone Wrong.
Oh boy!
So
I'm looking forward to this. I haven't seen this yet either.
No, this is Dan and Tim. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Dan from Caliboard. Hi, I'm Tim from Timo Vlogs. And today we'll be doing some comedy. Hey, God! 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 God!
Yeah, that's the video right there. So I don't. No, that's it. That's it.
All right,
That's
let's
it.
go
So
forward.
this is really lesson learning. This is lesson learning. This is if you have a YouTube channel with old videos, you may want to make sure that you're okay with the world seeing them. So I don't know how
Well,
Timbo
that's why
feels
they're on
about that.
YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But what may have seemed like a good idea 5 years ago, I don't know.
I think it was a good idea tonight.
Here's the great thing though, because right now Tim may be going on his YouTube channel and taking videos off.
Tim.
No, don't worry. I've already downloaded
you already
them
got
all.
the good ones?
I already
Okay,
got them.
got the good
I
ones.
already have them,
Okay.
so they're available to
All
be
right,
used.
excellent.
So we'll see what happens. But Scott, I do have. I know June 1st is coming up, and that's your birthday.
It is. Everyone out there, June
The
1st.
big 7-0, and so got you.
No, come on now.
Got you a little gift. Got you a little gift there, Scott, and so you can.
Why am I scared?
No need to be scared. No need to be scared.
Okay, this is a Pokemon trading card game. Why are you giving? I've never played Pokemon in my life.
Well, here's the thing. These Pokemon cards are you use them to play Pokemon. Have you heard of Pokemon before?
I've heard of Pokemon. I know a couple years ago everyone walked around with their face in their phone because of Pokemon.
Well, yeah,
But
yeah.
That's not this.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Pokemon can be a confusing thing to people.
I would assume.
If only there was a YouTube channel that dealt with the finer things of Pokemon. Oh wait, hang on. There is.
Oh, there is.
And it's also part of our middle school student made it, and Jack found it. But it's one of our high schoolers that has left their Pokemon channel out there for the world to find. So we hope
I can become an expert.
you can become an expert if you subscribe to this channel.
Oh, I'm on it.
I'm very excited about this video. We hope you enjoy.
Hi, I am Aiden, and next Saturday I'll be videotaping me playing Let's Play Pokemon Platinum. And my videos are going to be called Let's Play Pokemon Platinum. I use Let's because we are basically playing together. You're going to help me choose my Pokemon, my team. I will be playing Legendaries in my team. Yeah, but not all the time. And also I need you to tell me on what we're doing next, about the gyms, everything. So see you next Saturday.
I don't know what to think.
Yeah, it's fantastic. AC, we love you so much, and I love this. So this video view count was like at 15, and then I found it, and now it's like at 112, and I think those are all me. So I just had this on replay, going and going and going. So it's just beautiful. It's beautiful.
I'm going to go check it out.
Yeah. I don't think it has anything to do with those cards, but still, there's more Pokemon videos on there that you can find of Aiden, and I don't know how he feels about this, but I can only imagine. So, AC, we love you. Hey, it is that time. It is time for the drawing this week, week 9 of Wheel of Unfortunate. Let's turn it over to the leaders. We are here on week 9 of Wheel Unfortunate, and I am joined by way too many man buns today, as there are some people that really, really need haircuts. So it is all good. Well, fellas, thanks for joining us. I actually have some female leaders that think they need a shot at this. And so I was like, well,
I agree.
I think the guys would freely give up their spots, so we'll have to see what we do to make that happen. So, but for this week, we're back to our 7 envelopes here, and we'll start it wherever you guys want to start it. So, got them all here. Keegan's. I don't even know what Keegan's doing there.
Wait, Jack, you're not in it this week?
No, 7. 7.
I'm in
He's
it.
in.
I'm in it.
Oh, you are in it. Okay.
I'm in it.
That
I was
counted
6.
poorly.
Kevin
Everybody
forgot
but
how to
Bob.
count.
Hey, when are we gonna get
Oh.
Scott back in here?
I don't know, man. You're
Dude,
not.
how much do you
Scott
want to
gets
see
so
Scott
nervous about this
thrown
game.
up?
Scott throws up before his punishment. He gets so nervous.
Scott gets sick watching everybody else get punished. You
The
can't.
thing
do it
is, like,
yourself.
and the thing is, he's always doing something else, and so if he were to get picked, he wouldn't be able to do any of his other jobs for that night correctly because he would just be so worried about.
That's true. That's true.
Okay,
Yep.
who wants to start us? Keegan's going number 6.
Not me.
I'm feeling good tonight.
Still
Okay,
good on 6. I think it's going to be Chris.
not as good as Ross. So
Oh, it's Ross. I feel like I pick Ross every week.
Thank you.
I'm just getting mentally prepared for my 50-50 over here. As every week.
Ross and Josh, neither of them have been in the final 2, so they've had it pretty easy.
It's a joke.
So where are we going next? Number 6 is out.
7.
7. Boy, I see a J.
I see a K. I see a K. Do I not see a K?
Yes.
No. Oh, there is a K. Dang it.
Thank you, Chris.
Ah,
Oh my gosh.
1 through 5.
number 1.
1 through 5.
I'm number 1.
Number 1. Here we go. Jaden said he was feeling good. There it is.
Here it
Ross,
is.
you need to pick me
Oh,
earlier this week,
man.
okay? I need your help.
I'm not doing very well, guys. Somebody else pick.
We got 2, 3, 4, and 5 left. 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Not my
Five.
night.
Kevin wants 5. Here we
I pick
go.
myself. It'll be the best night of my life.
Egan!
Hey! Thank you.
I totally saw the K and the E again when I was flipping it. And I was like, oh, he did kick himself. Okay.
I'm shutting up now.
Well, Ross wants number 4. Ross is calling 4 here.
It's gonna be me and Chris again.
no, don't do it.
Oh no.
Don't do it. That's not allowed. Yeah. Yeah.
Every week. Jack, you've
Dude,
got to be rigging this somehow.
Even Chris's
There's
camera
no way.
doesn't want to.
You've seen him the whole time. I haven't moved them
I
out
know
of my
I am,
hand.
but you do magic. You can probably just make one appear out of
Do
nowhere. This is
magic.
crazy. The odds are just so slim. This is a joke.
Josh, I'm feeling lucky with the hair. I'm feeling lucky with the hair, Josh.
If it's me, it's me.
Okay. Well,
I love how optimistic you are about this. You haven't walked on Legos, though, so I wouldn't be so thrilled.
we got to vote for 2. We got to vote for 3. So let's.
Oh, look.
What's
I want to go with
everybody
whatever
here?
Ross went with. Whatever Ross said, I'm going with.
I said 2, but don't put me on it because I.
No, Ross, you told me last week that you would save me if I got down to the 50-50, so I need you.
Okay.
I
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Keegan, what are you
Great.
feeling? 2 or 3?
2.
Two. I love that. I love it. Ross said 2.
2. Here we go.
What are you talking about?
Haven't seen him freeze up.
I'm sorry.
I told you, Josh. It's the hair. The hair.
How does
saved
this
you today.
happen?
I'm sorry.
How does this happen every week?
I'm sorry, Kevin.
Can we make it Legos again?
Oh my gosh!
Legos with a dog collar?
Oh, sorry, Mega Blocks.
Some magic tricks over there.
Well, thanks everybody for playing this week of Wheel of Unfortunate. Well, another loser for the Ignite team. Although, there's no winners or losers. There's only winners
It's
for
a
us.
loser for Kevin.
Yeah.
That's the only one that really lost.
There was I did cut out part of the video afterwards. Kevin tried to negotiate another Jack versus Jaden face-off, and for a half a second he had it where Jaden was going to put in his name 4 times to one of my names, and there was this brief moment where I thought it was going to happen, and then Jaden's like, "No, I'm not doing it."
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, but but Kevin was working it hard.
Was he? Okay.
So Kevin's punishment is coming up a little later tonight. All I can tell you is that it was a lot of fun and a punishment that was viewed by hundreds of people. Hundreds of people get to watch Kevin get punished.
I can't wait.
Well, we'll do that a little bit later. We're going to give some stuff away here first. Give some stuff away. So here's what's going to happen. This Friday is prize delivery day. So we have a big list of prizes that have been given out over the last 9 weeks now.
Is it 9 or is it 11, 10, top 10?
Okay, you know what? Stop. So Friday, I'm going to drive around, load up the car with all the things. So if you have something, you're going to be able to text me. I'll tell you about that later too. But we have a pretty good list going, but hopefully we don't miss anybody. But we're going to give away some more stuff today. So
let's do it.
It may be people who've already gotten stuff. So let's bring up our big board here. Big board. These are the people who have entered. It looks like the beach. That's not a big board. There. Oh, look at that. Looks like Scott Henderson's
wearing the same shirt.
Same shirt. Big surprise.
See, when you dress like that, you can go by one name.
Here we go. Let's give away three custom face masks. 3 face masks. So sorry, Lighthouse face masks. Let's see who's getting the first one here. Here we go. Spin it through and stop. Stop. Olivia Dixon. Oh, that means I'm having to go all the way out to South Lyon
to give her a Lighthouse.
She's won other stuff too, though. So
okay,
it would be a couple.
She's in Ignite.
Here's the thing. Everybody who's in Ignite, eventually they're in Lighthouse. So it works out that way. Not everybody in Lighthouse eventually goes to Ignite. Right. But everybody in Ignite eventually goes to Lighthouse. So here we go. Let's give away another one. Here we go. Spin it. Some people were taking this last week and they were pausing it on their name and sending me screenshots. That's cheating.
That is cheating.
What's not cheating is whoever's name pops up now. Cooper Weaver. Okay. Cooper Weaver. There was a little discussion last week because we had a couple of Coopers who entered a contest.
And so you should put initials.
Cooper W. Names. There it is. Okay, one more. Here we go. Spin it. Spin. And stop. Okay.
Your mom.
Okay, apparently that's actually my mom who texted that. So your mom is actually Jack's mom. So Linda Janigian just won something. So
there's like a million jokes right now.
Here's the thing. There's no way that Linda Janigian's ever going to even wear a face mask. It's a political thing. So let's spin it again. Here we go. Let's get another one. Okay, and stop. Okay, Clara. So her granddaughter gets it instead. There it is. Okay.
Another middle schooler winning Ignite stuff or Lighthouse stuff.
All 3 were middle schoolers, yeah, but all 3 will be high schoolers eventually. Hey, we're going to play a little game we like to call Would You Rather. Would you rather? So here's how this works. If you haven't played with us before, you're going to need a cell phone, so you can borrow your parents if you don't have one, or a sibling or whatever it may be. You can have as many people in your house that play. But you can also go online to play. That information's going to pop up. But if you're on your phone, you're going to just text in. You're going to text Lighthouse 731. We'll put it up here in just a second. We got the beach here again.
Well, that's okay. We got rid of my photo. That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. You're going to text in Lighthouse 731 to the number 22333. Okay, so the number you see right there, 22333, and you text Lighthouse 731 to that number. Okay. Now, last time we played, somebody was texting my number the whole time. Don't text my number. Okay, that's not how we play. You text the number 22333, and in the message you put Lighthouse 731. Okay. As soon as you do that, it's going to enter you in, and you're going to be able to play along with this one. So right here out of the gates, it just says go ahead and get it out of your system. That means you can type in any word you want right now, and it is going to pop up on the screen. Now,
yes.
Now, well, I didn't do a word cloud this time. We're activated, right? Okay. So in just a second, we're on that 10-second delay. Let's see. Let's see if we see things.
Okay, I was going to guess something what you thought I was going to guess. Because right now, if I was playing, I would text your mom.
Oh, there it is. Mom. Right out of the gates. Okay, so there it is. Oh, shave your eyebrows. Okay, people are still on the whole shave your eyebrows for Will Unfortunate. I'm not gonna do that. Harry Styles, Shawn Mendes, welcome.
Bull Shark.
Bull shark. 7 bull shark or just bull shark? Okay.
Well, it was bull and shark, but they were next to each
So
other.
people are just typing in right now any word they want. I'm very impressed. Oh, there it is. It took a while. Poop was like the 50th word that came in.
Right.
So it's getting bigger now though.
But your mom is.
Shawn Mendes is growing. Mom is growing. Lizzie just threw her name in. Welcome, Lizzie McHugh. See, if you just type your name in, then I can say hello to you. Okay, so it's good to see you. Let's see if anybody else.
Bull shark, official bull shark showed up.
Okay, shave your eyebrows is growing.
Gaining.
Here's Isaiah. Follow Own My Nose on Twitter. So there's Isaiah trying to get a little plug in. Good job, Isaiah. Okay, let's. That's good. We figured out how this works. Okay, Poop is.
Pokemon.
Poop always wins when all's said and done. There's Jack's mom is on there. Avocado. Okay, let's reset. Let's go to some actual Would You Rather games. I'm going to take a seat here. Here's another one that's open-ended. Best movie. Okay, best movie you've watched since the stay-at-home started. People are still typing their names in here. So Ellie, welcome. Glad to see you, Ellie. Yeah.
I think people are missing how we were playing this game.
Well, it's a slight delay. Okay, we remember that 10-second delay?
delay.
You love that 10-second delay. Okay, so here it is. The Lizzie just keeps typing her name in. So I want to know what the best movie you have watched. Overcomer I've heard of. Sonic. Have you seen Sonic yet, Scott?
No.
We haven't either. Remember the Titans.
I've seen that.
I'm trying to talk my family into watching that. There's a couple people who haven't seen it. Shawn Mendes. That's not a movie. Endgame. Have you seen Endgame? Avengers?
No.
Okay.
All right. You know.
Extraction.
Since we've been staying home started.
Somebody put
I've watched
Frozen.
one movie.
What movie?
A League of Their Own.
That's not a very good movie. Okay. Back to the Future. Just kidding. That was a prank. That's from
Knives
my family.
Out. I've seen Knives Out getting a lot of love on
Knives
Facebook
Out was
this
good.
week.
High School Musical. Just why, Jack? I don't know what that is. Another for Knives Out. Star Wars Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, seen it.
My family has watched The Mandalorian over the break here.
I've
They
not
watched.
seen it yet. We do have
Courtney
Disney
and the
Plus.
boys watched the whole thing. How to Train Your Dragon. Another one. That one's Knives Out. I wonder if Knives Out's any different than Knives Out.
It's a sequel.
Sequel?
Prequel.
Okay. Yesterday. Okay. I saw Yesterday. Fantastic movie. Have you heard of Yesterday?
No.
Oh, great movie.
Is it new? Old?
It's newer, yeah. Okay. Onward. That's been a popular. The Hunger Games. Okay. 8th Grade. Is that a movie? I've never heard of that one.
I think it is.
Okay, another vote for Yesterday. Yeah. So I have Addison Moore, who's a senior in our group, who's graduating. Her mom is my official movie recommender. So she's 4 for 4 now. Movies she's recommended that have entertained me fully. So
okay, nice. It's
okay,
nice,
let's go to some Would You Rathers. Let's go to some multiple choice questions here. So, what are you most looking forward to when the stay at home is lifted? So you're going to just type in A, B, C, D, or E here now. So playing team sports, hanging with my friends, going to a concert, movie, mall, anywhere that with lots of people, eating in a restaurant. I'm good. Let's just extend this till December. If that wins, I'm going to be very unhappy with our group here. So that should get no votes here. Okay. Jaden in here saying restaurant should be number 1. There's somebody else just voted for E. If you voted for E, can you let us know that in the comments? I want to know who those people are, who those psychos are. But eating in a restaurant's in last place. Eating in a restaurant is behind I'm good. Let's just extend this till December. How is that possible? So
not real answers.
Hanging with my friends is I knew would win, but I just wanted to see where everybody was at. So solid. Scott, which one is for you on there?
Yeah, I'm missing my friends.
Yeah. You get to see me every Wednesday, Scott.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Yeah. Well, and
it's not the same as our normal Wednesday routine.
Yeah, church and then steak.
Right.
Every Wednesday.
Church and
okay, let's
steak.
go to another one here. Let's go to the next one.
What was yours? You didn't answer yours.
Seeing friends.
Okay.
If you could visit anywhere in the world when this is done, where are you going? Okay, this is open-ended. You can put in whatever you want. If you could go anywhere in the world when this is over, Scott, where are you picking?
Florida Keys.
Florida Keys.
Yep. So I could see the bull shark.
How many bull shark were? Somebody started with Ohio. Why is Ohio the first thing that came in? I may go to Ohio next week to get a haircut because their barbershops are open up this Friday. But Ohio's not going to be my first visit when this is done. If I could go anywhere in the
that's
world.
Not my dream destination for sure.
Yeah. Somebody went with Greece, Italy. See, I would. Here's the thing. Who keeps typing in Y-Jack to everything? Zach's. There is a classic Lighthouse answer. Yeah.
So what's your answer?
Glad to have you here, Wes Welch. Comerica Park, somebody just put in.
Oh, see, Albania. Yep. I really want to be in Albania at the end of
And Dee probably put Albania, didn't she?
I'm guessing she did.
Or Reagan. It was Reagan. Yeah. The White House, somebody put. Disney World, Shawn Mendes. Okay. Just another vote for Zach's. Is Zach's even closed?
Oh, yeah, Zach's is closed. It's for takeout, but
Who gets
limited
takeout
hours.
from Zach's?
No, there was one I drove by and it was really weird seeing Zach's closed.
See, one person put Zach's and another person put See My Grandma. Like those are one and the same. Like I want to know who these people are putting Zach's.
Somebody
Like,
wants
that's
to go to
one
the
thing I
zoo.
miss. France.
Oh, look at someone getting fancy with the graphic.
I didn't even know we could do that. There's another vote for Zach's. Okay. Wherever Gerald is. Okay. Jack Beard. I don't know what that means. Okay. Let's Cedar Point. There's a vote for Cedar Point. Somebody just texted me this week. Is Lighthouse still going to Cedar Point this summer? I have no idea. We're going to see what's open. I hope we are. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Here we go. Would you rather win one Olympic gold medal and never compete in the Olympics again, or 10 silver medals in the Olympics? So it means you get to keep going to the Olympics. What do you pick here, Scott?
Oh, I'm going, give me 10.
Over the gold? Over knowing you were the best in the world at something, even once?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously you're going with gold medal one time.
I don't know. I think I'm going 10 as well, just for the experience of being.
I mean, you're going in the record book. If you get 10 silver,
It's true.
you'd be like the Buffalo Bills.
But second place over and over again. Okay, second place is first loser.
Well, I'm looking at it from the longevity thing. If we're talking once, that's like
true.
40 years. I'm competing when I'm 90.
It doesn't mean you're going to 10 consecutive. Maybe you're like Michael Phelps. And competing like
you're gonna
3
win them all?
events.
Okay.
I'm not
I was
saying.
thinking, what event? Teddy Olympics.
Yeah, no, that's nearly impossible unless like, do they have like Olympics for like Connect 4? Because I could compete chess.
Yeah, you could compete in those.
Table tennis. Okay, the gold won though. The gold is the winner
I'm
here.
a little surprised by that.
I'm not. Be a champion. Okay, let's go to the next one.
There's a lot of people that won
We got some
one
food
gold.
ones coming up. The best snack from this list. Okay, a little salty snacks list here. Doritos, Flaming Hot Cheetos, Cheez-Its, Ruffles, or chips and salsa.
Slam dunk, chips and salsa.
Because you get 2 for 1 there.
2 for 1, and the cheese items automatically get eliminated off of my list.
There are a lot of cheese items in there. Chips and salsa, like way behind here.
Plus, I had a real bad experience with.
See, here's the
Flaming
thing
Hot
with
Cheetos.
Ruffles. I should have put Ruffles and French onion dip.
No, okay.
If I put Ruffles and French onion dip, that's a different story.
Ruffles is not a standalone. You got to have the dip.
Yeah, but I love Ruffles. I love Ruffles. I love a good potato chip in general. So Doritos, I thought Flaming Hot Cheetos was going to win this, honestly.
I would have guessed based on the audience, Doritos or Cheetos.
Yeah. Cheez-Its with 20% of the vote. You would choose Cheez-Its on this list? So you just said that Cheez-Its would be second. Like, you don't get a second place vote here. So, and here's the other thing with Doritos. Doritos has a lot of options.
Right, there's like 18 flavors.
Yeah. But everybody knows Cool Ranch is the best. So,
Yeah, that gives you
okay.
good breath.
Here we go. Let's go to the next one. Should anyone ever eat an oatmeal raisin cookie? Okay, so your answer is A, yes, they're good. B, only if it's the only option. Or C,
Wow, someone got
oatmeal
in
raisins
quick
should
on
be
that.
banned from ever being made. Pastor Aaron here, he's saying definitely C. What do you go with here, Scott?
I'm going B, and preferably it's fresh out of the oven.
Here's the thing. Oatmeal raisin cookies, they're Satan's cookie. Because here's why I say this. okay?
Really? Wow,
I know that's a bold thing. But what does the enemy want to do? He wants to deceive you. He wants you to believe something is one way when it's actually the other. So here's the problem: the oatmeal raisin cookie. You see it sitting there, and you're like, "Oh, sweet, a chocolate chip cookie," and then you bite into it, just like Eve took a bite of that fruit.
You know, I don't think many people confuse chocolate chip with raisin.
But there's, yeah, like we got.
Wait,
there's
Aaron
that
said
moment.
what? Colorblind people do? Is that what
Yeah,
he
but
said?
think about it. Like if you see a tray of cookies there, you know, maybe you're somewhere and the lighting's not great. You're like, oh, a chocolate chip cookie, and then you bite in and you're like, I'm eating fruit. I don't want to eat fruit. I want to eat.
And and if it really, it's rotten fruit.
I'm thankful. I'm thankful here that C is the winner here as well it should be.
You know, I mean, if it's the only option.
No, I'd rather not eat one then. I'd make myself a chocolate chip cookie. So
I don't see that happening.
Right. You know what? The other night, Taylor was working on homework. It was like 11:30 at night, and I said, "Do you need me to make you some chocolate chip cookies right now?" I was willing
Were
to
they
do
like
that.
out of a tube or the
No,
break them off? You
no,
got the
I was
flour
gonna
out.
I was going to use my
stuff.
KitchenAid mixer. Okay, I got a KitchenAid mixer. When I turned 40, I was going to put it to work, but she said she was good. Let's go to the next one. I think I got like 2 left here. Ooh, best superhero. Best. I gave you a lot of choices here. We have 8. We have 8 choices. Who do you think is the best? Yeah. Oh, I didn't put Spider-Man. I meant to. Sorry. Spider-Man should have been up there. Well, I couldn't put 17. I'm getting complaints about who's not there. Well, here's the deal. I love Ant-Man. Ant-Man's my favorite of all the Marvel movies.
Wait, it's your favorite movie, but is he your favorite superhero?
Yeah, probably. Because he's funny. Yeah, I think here's the thing. Paul Rudd is funny. Here's interesting. Iron Man has no votes.
Superman, no votes.
Well, here's the
Isn't
thing.
Superman the most iconic?
Superman's not in any of the Marvel movies though. So
I know,
and
but-
he was in Batman vs Superman, which I heard was lame.
Yeah, but he's the most iconic Superman or
understand.
superhero of all time.
Did I tell you? I drove Superman in an Uber before, right?
I did know that, but of course you did.
Yeah, the actual guy who played Superman in Batman vs Superman. I drove in an Uber. Okay, we got a point from Isaiah Merriweather coming in. Okay, Iron Man's on there twice. So Iron Man is getting votes, apparently. I was surprised Iron Man hadn't gotten any votes, and apparently he had. So Iron Man now is at 21%. So good catch, Isaiah. So the second Iron Man was supposed to be Spider-Man. So there it is. Do we have what do we have? 2 left or 1 left? Okay, let's see the next one. There's 2 left. Yep. When I was 5 years old, I wanted to be blank. Who did you want to be when you were 5, Scott?
When I was 5.
Yeah, we're talking a little bit about career tonight, so that's why I put this question.
When I was 5, I wanted to be the shortstop for the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, that's probably me too. Yeah, Alan Trammell. For you is
No,
like
not when I was 5.
yeah.
Alan
Who's
Trammell.
the shortstop from the '62 Tigers when you were growing up? I can't even think who that would
The
have been.
62 Tigers. Wow.
Okay, we have a princess. We have Shawn Mendes. That's a lie. That's not who you wanted to be when you were 5. A teacher, a superhero, a singer, a veterinarian. Nice. Famous.
Famous. Hey,
Just
there
the
you
word
go. I just wanna
famous.
be famous.
Yeah. Cowgirl. Solid. Spider-Man.
Who didn't
There's
make the
Spider-Man.
list?
Somebody wanted to vote for Spider-Man one way or the other, so they got it in. A singer. They wanted to be cool when they were 5. They wanted to be Jack Jungle Jim. Well done. Flashback to what video was that? Was that week 1 or week 2? Jack Jungle Jim was week 2. Yeah, a rock star, a doctor,
Pizza
a pizza
man.
man. There we go. A baby doctor, also known as a pediatrician.
Yes.
Oh, they wanted to be a doctor that was a baby. I don't even know what that means. They wanted to be bald. So that's interesting.
Oh, somebody wanted to be 6 when they were 5. A worker for Nintendo.
A worker for Nintendo. Whoever put probably 6, please go ahead and text in and let us know that was you. You're winning a prize for that because that's funny. That made me laugh. Whoever put probably 6, let us know who you were.
Circus
a circus
performer.
performer. A zoologist. A cat. Somebody wanted to be a cat. Tell us who that is to. Text in if you put a cat. I want to know who you are because I feel bad for you and I want to get you a prize as well. So another fireman. Another superhero. Okay, we're gonna go to our last one. Our last one tonight. This didn't work last time we tried it, so we're gonna give it again. Ask Jack or Scott anything. They must answer. Here we go. This is gonna be rapid fire. Can I have $20?
No.
No. Okay, no for me as well. It's a good question though. Ladybug. That's still somebody who wanted to be a ladybug.
We're back to that delay thing.
We're on the delay. 10-second delay. You know what? Will you shave your eyebrows? No. I'm not doing that.
How many bull shark? 7.
7
There
bull
was a
shark.
6-footer and an 8-footer.
I was asked, why do you hate Shawn Mendes? I don't. I'm just sick of him coming up every week in this. Worst Disney movie? Pocahontas for me.
Sure.
Or that Fantasia one. What's the one where Mickey Mouse is Fantasia?
There you go.
That one's terrible as well. But do you like the new MLB standing they made do? Yes, I do. No DH in both leagues. Love it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that.
What would you rather, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, or Daredevil?
Don't know.
I haven't seen any of them. Is Parker your favorite child, Scott?
He's my favorite son.
Okay. Who's your celebrity crush? Alan Trammell. What would you do if you couldn't work at the church? I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, so you got to wait. Why? Because tall. That's not a question. What's your favorite thing to do during quarantine, Scott?
Come here on Wednesdays.
Nice. Mine is, I don't know, playing some baseball. Can I have $1?
Yes.
Okay.
Whoever it was, I owe you $1.
Scott owes you $1. When will Luke get a girlfriend? Wow, I want to know who asked that. That is, if you're asking about my child, the answer is never. What did the chicken say to the cow? I got nothing. Can you bring me a prize? Yes, if you won something, text me. Who's your favorite singer, Scott?
Favorite singer?
I'm going David Crowder and Tim McGraw for myself.
I'm going to go Mercy B.
Who's the smartest man alive?
Oh, Kevin Nibble.
Yeah, absolutely. How tall is Scott?
5'9.5".
Jack, why did you bully my dad in junior high? That's from Joshua Kripe. Joshua, I was just, I don't know. Like, that's just not a nice
We got
thing.
leaders trying to be funny with
Will
paintball.
there be paintball at next camp, Scott?
Leaders, you're not
No.
funny.
But here's the other thing, Joshua. Your dad's one of my best friends now, so it all worked out.
Favorite
What's your favorite number?
3.
13. Can we meet at the church?
Sunday.
Not today. How old are you both? I'm 43. Scott's
51.
Oh, okay.
Soon to be 50.
Do you know Gerald? No.
No.
Is Wheel Unfortunate rigged? From Kevin. No, it's
No.
not. Can Jack shave Scott's eyebrows?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Can I have $1? Comes up. Can I have
No,
$1?
only
Can I
the
have $1?
first
Only the
person on
first
the
person.
dollar.
Are you hyped for the One Direction reunion? No.
don't.
Follow Out My Nose on Twitter. There you go. How old are you? You bomber? I don't know. Who would win in a big fight, Chungus or Thanos? I don't know. Can I have $50?
Absolutely not.
No.
Another $1, no.
No. Okay, we're good. Let's flip those off. Those are some good questions this week. Well, some of them were good questions. Some of them.
There was a few.
Yeah, there was a few. So, but thanks so much for playing this week of Would You Rather. Hey, I wanted to talk to you a little bit tonight about what you want to do with your life. That question just came up. Like what did I want to be? How did I know that I wanted to be a youth pastor? That is a fantastic question. I want to talk to you a little bit tonight. From the very first week, one of the things I challenged you with was, what is God going to do in your life during this time of stay at home? So from the start, we challenged some of you to read through the entire New Testament. And there are some people that finished that. That's awesome. We've challenged you in the month of May to read the book of Acts 3 times. There are some people who have already finished that. They've already read through the entire book of Acts 3 times, which is awesome. There's other people who are still doing it. If you haven't started yet, you can still start that. Last Wednesday, Jason Hansen was with us. He encouraged people to memorize Scripture. That's fantastic. I loved some of the texts I got from Bree, Parker, Isaiah. There was a number of you, Kate Romano. Those of you who've been texting me the passages that you're memorizing, thank you for that. That's a great encouragement to me, and I've forwarded those on as well. But I've also want to challenge you, because I know there's some seniors that are really still wrestling with life and what is life going to look like after this. There's some sophomores and juniors who are trying to figure out, what do I want to do with the rest of my life in general? And I often get asked, when did you know that you wanted to go into youth ministry? That came for me when I was 16 years old. When I was 16 years old, I came upon Philippians chapter 1. I've shared this story in Lighthouse before, but in Philippians 1, verse 21, I want to read the passage for you, if I can bring it up here on the screen. It says this, "For to me to live is Christ and to die is gain. If I'm to live in the flesh, that means more fruitful labor for me, yet which shall I choose? I cannot tell. I am hard-pressed between the two. My desire is to depart and to be with Christ, for that is far better, but to remain in the flesh is more necessary on your account." I read that passage as a 16-year-old, and I don't know what was going on in my life at that time, but I decided that I wanted to put my life into wherever I could be most effective into winning people to Jesus. And that looks different for everybody. There's not a right or a wrong path that you can take. And people think like, oh, you know what? Like if you want to, God's going to call you ministry, that means like you got to get out of high school, you got to go to Bible college, and you got to become a pastor and work in a church. And like ministry looks different. Like our church is filled with people who are actively involved in ministry in such a way that we could not pull off anything that we're doing right now without people who have jobs out in the world and who have committed their life in ministry to Solid Rock. But we also know that there may be some students who are watching tonight that maybe during this time of lockdown, as you spend time in the Word of God, as you spend time in Acts, as you spend time memorizing Scripture, that God may call you into something more than just being a volunteer in ministry someday. Maybe God will call you someday to work in a church, to go on the mission field, to work in producing Christian music. I don't know, like lots of different areas of Christian ministry that God may call you to. So this week we have a two-part video. We're going to show you part now, and we're going to show you part a little bit later. I interviewed 10 individuals, and there'll be one or two faces that you may recognize. I interviewed 10 individuals, and I asked them, what did God's call in your life look like? How did you know? And for some of them, you're going to hear some of them like, man, I was 15 years old and I knew. And some of them are going to be like, yeah, I was 26 and I was doing something completely different, and God pulled me out of what I was doing. I want you to hear each of their stories. I want you to see something that weaves all throughout them. We're going to watch part now and part a little bit later, but I hope you enjoy this. Hey, Solid Rock students, I am privileged to be joined here tonight by a group of 10 individuals who are all in different parts of the country and doing all sorts of different things as God is uniquely gifted and using them in ministry. Tonight we're talking a little bit about that, what that means, what call means, how God wants to use that in our life. So I'm going to go ahead and allow them to introduce themselves, tell you who they are, where they're living, and what they're doing right now. And then we will talk a little bit more from there. So starting with Mr. Freeman here.
Hey, my name's Eric Freeman. I serve as a youth pastor at Cadillac Christian Reformed Church in Cadillac, Michigan. And I'm also the director of a ministry called United, which gathers hundreds of students from across northern Michigan for United Nights of Worship together.
Hey, I'm Corey Rice. I'm the youth pastor at a church in the suburbs of Louisville, Kentucky, actually on the Indiana side. Been there 8 years after being around the country. So.
Hey, my name is Andrew Williams. I've been in ministry for 12, 13 years. Currently, I'm an associate pastor at a church in South Lyon, and we live in Brighton, my wife and two little girlies.
My name's Andy Klinke. I'm a teaching pastor at a church in Glen Ellen, Illinois called Parkview Community Church. And I also am a global missions pastor there.
Hey guys, I'm Josh Belliconi. I'm currently serving down in the Atlanta, Georgia area, a little bit north of there. I'm the audio director at a church, First Baptist Church in Woodstock. So that's my role right now. I'm married to my wife's name's Tally, and I have 4 kids. You'll probably hear them in the background, so sorry.
Hey everyone. Yeah, my name is Eric Swanson. I am a assistant pastor of discipleship at a church called Castleton Community Church, and we are located in the northeast corner of Indianapolis. And we have been here in Indy since 2014.
What's up, Solid Rock? I know some of you guys, but if you guys don't know me, my name's Garrett Nimmo. I am the Youth and Family Ministry Director at Bethany Bible Church in Belleville, Michigan, so not super far from you guys. I'm also in seminary at Moody Theological. I am married. I don't have any kids. I have 2 cats, though. That's it.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Jill Wright. I'm the student ministry coordinator at Highland Park Baptist Church for our high school and middle school, and that's in Southfield, Michigan.
Hi, I'm Katie Williams, proud sister of Andrew Williams, who's also on this call. I am currently a master's student at North Park Theological Seminary in Chicago, Illinois. The program is called the School of Restorative Arts, and it's alongside of 40 incarcerated men in Stateville Correctional Center in the suburbs of Chicago who are also getting their master's degree.
Hey everybody, my name is Brantley Vossler, and I serve at a church called Grace Bible Church in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Go
Youth pastor.
Yeah. So I did go to Bible school for college, and I guess I intended to be in ministry in one way or another, but I certainly...
Oh, Ross, you told me last week that you would save me if I got down to the 50-50, so I need you.
Okay, we are having some technical difficulties here. Give us 1 second as we work our way through this. We are really, really sorry here. Right there. Yep.
Bible Church in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Go Blue. And I am the pastor of worship and creative arts there.
Looks like we have created just a random group of 11 of us here, but it is very much not a random group at all. In fact, we were all together at various points. I met all of these as they were students at one point in my ministry. From 1997 through 2006, I had the great privilege of being a middle school pastor in Southfield, Michigan at Highland Park Baptist Church, a great church over there. And these guys all came through my youth group at some point. And it is wild because we had some great times. In fact, I'm wearing a shirt that was designed by Eric Swanson down there. He came up with this camp, East versus West. I got all sorts of old camp shirts here. I got the Battle of Champions. Some of you guys are on that one. I got this one is falling apart. This is my cereal summer camp for those of you guys who were one of the cereals. That was a fun one. And this one I spent some time looking at last night because a lot of you guys are on this one. Eric Freeman's on this one. Vossler's on this. Josh Belliconi, you're on this.
Dude, what year is that?
This is 2002. 2002. We put the names of every person that went to camp. So there's 240 names who went to summer camp with us that summer. Jill, you're on here. So it is just some great memories. We had some incredible times together. I think all of you guys went on a Detroit missions trip with me. Did you guys all get one of those trips?
Yep.
So
I did.
I'm still working with CDC with my youth group now at Solid Rock, although we have no idea what's going to happen this summer, so we're still doing that same trip. If you guys ever stayed at Tridestone back when you were in middle school, you should see the place now. It is unbelievable. CDC bought it, remodeled the whole thing. Staples knows. Jill knows. She's in there every year.
Different.
It's unreal, isn't it, Jill?
Yeah, okay. Completely new.
Yeah, it looks like a brand new building that they just built from scratch. But to think, as I look around this screen and I see just a lot of knuckleheads, and then I see Jill and Katie, who are always pretty awesome. To think that God would be willing to use any of us to be in ministry is unreal. And ministry looks like all sorts of different things. I understand that, but one of the things I'm challenging our students with is you don't know what God's call in your life is going to look like. So I've asked each of these to just share quickly what their calling looked like in their life and how they knew it was that God was calling them into ministry, that you might be encouraged from that tonight.
Yeah, so honestly, I never thought I would end up in ministry. I never kind of felt a calling as a kid or even through college. I was working as a journalist before ministry and thought that was going to be my career. But God started calling me when my wife and I ended up landing at started attending this really small, struggling church in northern Michigan. And the pastors just kind of took me under their wings and said, stay, invest in this community. God has something for you here. And they didn't offer me a job or anything, but they gave me some responsibility little after little. And then the Holy Spirit just kind of showed up and started gifting me in ways that I had never been gifted before, especially with teaching and preaching. And so after spending a few years there, just laboring at that little church, the Holy Spirit started calling me to ministry, and the pastor sent me out to seminary. And fast forward many years down the road, and I've been serving in ministry ever since. So I guess for me, calling was never so much about the feeling as much as it was about letting the church speak into my life, and then just patiently waiting and learning from people who were already in ministry before actually going out and pursuing my own unique calling.
Yeah. So, man, I wanted nothing to do with ministry. Honestly, out of high school, I went to university to pursue sports and actually was officially declared in 3 different majors. The most recent one before I went into student ministry major was kinesiology. So I didn't change over degrees until about my junior year, which set me a little bit back, but not too much. But yeah, for me, it was more of a process. My dad grew up in ministry, so I'd seen the good and the bad of all of it. Really wanted nothing to do with it. And then I was at a church service my sophomore year, and just started remembering like all the guys that really ministered to me. Jack being one of them. My other high school youth pastor was like, man, if those guys could deal with a punk like me and help me out, I can do that for other kids. And so mine was more of a process, but I was a junior when I started declared student ministry and went that direction, and did some internships with Jack, went back and fell in love with Detroit. And you talking about those mission trips. I mean, those mission trips were like the solidification for me to know, like, this is what I want to do for my whole life. So that's a little bit of my story.
That's awesome.
I don't remember what it was about the trip specifically, but I remember coming home from the Detroit trip that Jack was just talking about, my 7th grade year. And I remember telling my parents that, hey, I want to be a youth pastor when I get older. I don't remember, like I said, I don't remember why that was the case, but that just stuck with me. And as I continued on through middle school and high school, it just stuck in the back of my head that I felt like this is ultimately where God was leading me towards. And Jesus wasn't always my primary focus. And I think it really, that call was kind of solidified my junior year. Sorry, guys, there's my cat. Get out of here. It was kind of solidified my senior year. A couple of my really good buddies kind of just called me out in the way that I was living just a pretty lackadaisical life when it came to following Jesus. And they called me out. They said, hey, you tell people you want to be a pastor, so why aren't you living it? Well, you really got to take this seriously if that's where God is leading you. And that really, I think, kind of set me further on that path. And I started taking more serious steps towards that and started seeking advice from church leaders and asking them, like, hey, do you feel I have the gifting for this? And they confirmed that. And I just continued on that path, and God opened those doors, and now I'm here.
Yeah. So my dad had always said to me growing up, it's like, I think you should be a pastor one day. And again, when your dad tells you that, you don't want to do what your dad tells you. So I was like, no, I'm never going to do that. Don't want to teach. Don't want to do that. Go to Michigan State, resisting that call, changed my major like 3 times, and then went on a summer mission trip with Campus Crusade for Christ and did kind of ministry for a summer. And that was the time I was like, okay, this is something maybe I could do, because I just love the Bible. I love learning the Bible. I loved interacting with, again, deeper theological truths. But I had another career path that I was potentially going on in college, and then it came to a head at the end of my schooling at Michigan State, and I had to decide, which way to go. And one career path would really demand a lot of me, and I knew I had some certain non-negotiables that said, hey, I want to be available at my church. I want to be there regardless of what I do, whether that's in full-time ministry or not. I want to be available just to be used by God in my local church, whatever profession I'm doing. But this job wasn't going to let me do that. And so I said, okay, well, I love the Bible. I want to learn more about it. I know I won't regret it. So I ended up going to seminary, did an internship at my church following that, my graduation at Michigan State, and just being around pastors and seeing what they do every week. And I saw, man, definitely don't want to preach, but I want to be in ministry, and I want to do counseling, biblical counseling, and I've really enjoyed that. So let's go to seminary, learn that, and see what the Lord has for me, and see if there's a job in a church that would do that. And sure enough, again, there's got a residency in a church doing a lot of biblical counseling. And the great thing about that is around people who want to pour into you and want to train you, and was given the opportunity then to preach once. First time I ever preached was in front of 1,000 people at 8 in the morning. It was not a great sermon, but I got on base, and that was the king. But it was the Lord slowly developing me and showing me what He wanted of me. And if there's any encouragement for you guys, again, there's no writing in the sky, hey, you should be a pastor or this, but it's a slow plodding, being around people who care about you, studying the Word, being godly, and then just being obedient to what the Lord has said and revealed to you, and being available to be an ambassador, no matter if it's full-time ministry or if you're just working a job and being a light to the King. So, yeah.
Thanks. Very similar to Swanee. I really love what you said at the end there about it's this slow kind of burn of people over time pouring into you and affirming certain things in you. And for me, that's kind of how I view my call. Because I don't think about a moment in time that I said this is what it is. But just over the course of my junior high and high school years, people that I trusted would pull me aside and say, hey, have you ever thought about this? You seem to have these gifts. You seem to not have these gifts. And I remember 10th grade Bible class, I was up for like a devotion, and I kind of forgotten about it. And so that morning I just put something together and did the devotion. And our teacher asked me to stay after class. So I thought I was in trouble, or I said, some heresy or something like that. And he said, that was like not half bad. How long did that take you? And I said, I'll be honest, Shu, I just kind of did that this morning. I feel bad about you kind of calling me out on it. He goes, really? You did that this morning? Like, you should speak in chapel. And then there was a culmination of things where all these opportunities kept coming my way. And it was like, and people kept saying, you should keep walking through these doors. I think someone else said, there's this, keep just walking through open doors and keep seeing if it resonates with the things that are kind of God has put in your heart and your soul. And that's what happened with me. It just was people like Jack and Ty Lemke, who was a high school teacher, that just kept saying, I think you have something. You seem to love to talk about this stuff. He would burn CDs for me of like Andy Stanley sermons that I would listen to in my car, because I had a lot of friends in high school, and it was really cool. And so I would listen to these sermons in my car, and we would talk about them. And it just was this, like, over time, it was just people saying, like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense for you. What do you think? I was like, yeah, it makes sense for me too. I agree with you. And it was just always something that I enjoyed. And even actually recently, I kind of went through a little bit of a quarter life, midlife crisis. I don't know, where I was like, so I still want to do this. I was done with student ministry. I just was getting to the point where I was not a very good student pastor anymore. I was kind of done. And I don't feel like I have that many skills, but I feel like what I can do is I can talk. And that's really that's my gift. I can just talk, and I don't get nervous or something. So I started looking at things outside of church. Maybe I could go be a corporate trainer or lead classes and things. And everything just came back to like, yeah, but I don't care about those things. I want to talk about things that I love. I want to talk about Jesus. Like, that's what I want to do with my life. I want to talk about the Bible. I want to talk about Jesus. I don't want to train employees at Amazon on how to be onboarded. Like, that doesn't sound fun for me. So it was this combination of what you're good at and what you're passionate about. And for me, that's always just ever been ministry and talking to people about Jesus. So
that's beautiful. Well, sorry for that little bit of a technical glitch here at the beginning. We're going to post the whole thing in its entirety, but we still have the second half to get to, some more stories I want you to hear. But one of the things I hope you saw, there was somebody who was in pastoral counseling. There's a tech director from a church in Atlanta. There's someone working with men in prison. There's youth pastors. There's teaching pastors. There's all sorts of different people in this, and you don't know what God may call you to, but we'll finish that a little bit later and hear the stories.
Oh, that's awesome. That those are all your former students.
Yeah, it's a great crew. We had a lot of fun recording this, but I want you to hear the rest of the story in just a few minutes. But we're going to move on. We're going to do a couple fun things real quick. We're going to give away some prizes, actually, because we haven't done that. So, again, when this night is done, if you have prizes that are coming your way, I want you to go ahead and text me, okay? We've put my number up. You should have my number by now. But if you don't have it, just send me a text and say, hey, this is what I've won the last 8 weeks so that I know because, like I said, the Prize Patrol truck, that's a real thing.
And
Prize Patrol
follow up
coming
from
around
Would You
on
Rather.
Friday.
It appears I owe Carrie $1.
Oh, Carrie.
And
$1.
Sonia wanted to be a cat.
Sonia wanted to be the cat, so Sonia gets a prize for that. What was the other one we asked about? No, there was the 6-year-old who wanted to be 6. Did anybody claim that one? It is what it is. Well, let's go to the big board here. Let's see. Let's give away a couple more. Whoa, we got the sand again. This beach has been popular today.
is.
I don't know.
It's better than that.
Yeah, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. Here we go. And stop. Isaiah. Isaiah gets a prize. So these are our T-shirts coming out right now. These are T-shirts for Isaiah and one more. Here we go. Spin it.
Now I got to try the right.
And stop. Cameron. Nice. Couple high schoolers. First round was all middle schoolers. That round was 2 high schoolers. So, you know what? Here's the other thing, Scott. I did see some middle schoolers today at Dairy King. Hanging out, walking around downtown Plymouth.
Really?
They were not social distancing. So I will not call them out by name, Callie and Ellie. But I'm just saying. But do you know why I was in downtown Plymouth? Did I tell you why I was down there?
No, you didn't tell me.
Yeah.
Why?
I was in downtown Plymouth because that is where today's punishment took place.
Oh.
We did the punishment a little bit earlier today. Downtown Plymouth was packed. There was people
I
everywhere.
just drove through there to get here. Yeah, I was surprised how many people were hanging out.
People had their blankets kind of set up, 6 feet away, and people were eating ice cream and hanging out. There's a little bit of buzz back around downtown Plymouth. Is what it is. But
do you think it is? Did they hear that the punishment was happening?
Maybe
is that why they
was
were
it.
there?
Well, here's the thing. One of the things that's happened is we're living in a pretty politically charged world right now, right? And
I would say so.
Yes, and so there's lots of protests, and one of the things you see in protests is people hold signs, and the signs say where they stand on different issues, right?
I think I know where this is going.
So we gave Kevin some signs that he needed to stand on the street corner with, and people just. People responded. It was a lot of fun. There was people walking by like, what in the world is happening here? So Kevin had no control what was on the signs. Those were written by some of our other competitors in a wheel. Unfortunate, but we wanted to give you the backstory of what these were. And this is how Kevin spent his afternoon. So we hope you enjoy.
I will.
Oh, that was a fun afternoon. That was a good time.
That was awesome.
So, what was your favorite sign of those, Scott?
I think out on bail, but the dancing. I got to go dancing.
Yeah. There was a lady that came by and she said, "Do you know that women can already vote?" Yeah, we know. And then so there was somebody who was commenting on there was a couple passerbys that let us know, like, in the My Little Pony, they're like, "Why is this a big enough issue that you need a sign for it?" With the My Little Pony, I'm like, well, he lost a bet, so it is what it is.
Kevin, you're the man. That's it. That was awesome.
He was a good sport. So he just said, he kept saying this is better than Legos. So better than walking on Legos.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You should have put mouse traps out there when he was holding signs.
Hey, here we go. It is time for Isaiah. Every week, if you're new to joining us at Youth Group Live, one of our seniors, Isaiah Merriweather, makes a video, and you are seeing it for the first time, and so am I. It was just loaded in this afternoon by Aaron, and this is Isaiah made it, and Jack hasn't seen it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Science. Put your adventuring hats on because it's about to get science in here. If you know what I mean. No. Today we're going to learn about oxygen. Oxygen is a lot like baseball, probably. Everybody breathes, and that's a science fact. When one person breathes, we all do. In fact, wait, what? That doesn't make sense. Oxygen makes the world go round. That's also a science fact. Write that down. Did you write your own script for this? Take a breathe in. Take a breath in. Take a breath in. That's oxygen. Oxygen is a colorless, odorless, reactive gas. It has an atomic number of 8, and it's the life-sustaining component of the air we breathe. You can take a breath out now. That's oxygen too. Oxygen is everywhere. Believe it or not, a fifth of the Earth's atmosphere is composed of oxygen, or O on the periodic table. When I googled who oxygen was discovered by, Google just said 1772, so I guess we'll never know. It was Carl Scheele. What? Nothing. Well, thanks for watching. That's all we know about oxygen for now, but in a billion years, who knows what we could discover. So long.
Oh, fantastic, Isaiah. I love when we can come and we can be entertained and we can learn at the same time. So you gave us that opportunity tonight with useless facts about oxygen. Hey, we are going to go back to our testimonies. We got partway through, and just a few more testimonies, and then I want you to hear how all those stories come together. So we hope you enjoy the rest of these stories.
So I did go to Bible school for college, and I guess I intended to be in ministry in one way or another, but I certainly never thought that I would end up in prison doing classes alongside of incarcerated men. So in some ways I'm kind of a fraud because I'm not necessarily in ministry. I mean, I'm in theological studies, but I'm a peer. I'm a classmate. We're doing this together. We're learning together. And it has been the most transformative, beautiful experience of my life. But when I think back on kind of even just what it means to be called into ministry, I think of this quote from Eugene Peterson that a lot of us have kind of alluded to this in our stories, but just this process. And he says, long obedience in the same direction. And I think as I look back on my life, there's these little moments of just stealing away with God and just saying yes. And it's not these big, the sky opens up and a spotlight comes down. It's the Holy Spirit nudging you, talk to this person. And so you talk to that person. And then where does it go from there? And I think the most formative practice for me is sitting quietly with Christ and letting him remind me that I'm his beloved. And as he showers me with that and speaks that over me, again, it clarifies okay, so what do I need to say yes to? What is the step of obedience that I need to take? And it might lead you to someplace like prison or wherever else you're meant to be. Like Eric said, maybe it's just working in corporate America. But it is that it's that you are God's beloved daughter or son in whom he is well pleased. And then what can you say yes to? And I feel like that is my calling every day. It's my calling every morning, to ask and to be obedient. So
when I was in high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do in life. And it made me so nervous because I felt like all my friends knew what college they wanted to go to. They knew what they wanted to major in. And I was freaking out because I just had no idea. So I ended up kind of staying around my house, and I was going to college for early childhood development. And I ended up joining and being a volunteer staff at our church for the high school ministry. And I loved doing it. And if I could have been a full-time volunteer staff leader, I would have been, but that was not a paid position, so I couldn't. So I finished up my degree in early childhood, and I eventually went to elementary education, and I became a teacher, and I was teaching for a couple of years, but also doing volunteer staff. And one year I was asked to go on our Jamaica missions trip. And that's when I found out that the girl who had been working at our church was deciding she was going to leave. And that was crazy news because she had been there forever and she's amazing at her job. But she was kind of trying to hint towards like, maybe you should take my spot. But I had this teaching job that I thought was great. It was everything I wanted. I got the grade I wanted. I got the school I wanted. Everything was going so well for me. I finally knew what I was supposed to do in life, or so I thought. And later on in the year, our youth pastor came and asked if I would take that job. And I definitely had to pray about it because going from having a job that I know I'm set in and I know it's going to be a good career for me versus going into ministry, it can be a little scary. And even though it was something that I had thought I always wanted, I still had to be practical about it. But I ended up taking the job, and it was the best decision of my life. I absolutely love it. It is so much fun. I love that my job is waking up every day and I get to literally just work for the Lord. And I love working with middle school and high school students. It's so amazing to see their lives just changing and knowing that I went through that same exact youth group, and how awesome it is. You guys are so lucky to have Jack as your leader, because anytime I think of any ideas that we need, I go back to what Jack would do and like what are all those crazy fun things that he had planned for us. And it's just so fun to now that I get to be able to plan those things and be a part of it. So I absolutely love what I do, and I'm so glad that this opportunity came up for me, even though it was not ever really on my radar.
Hey guys, yeah, so my kind of entrance into ministry, I think, was definitely there wasn't a light bulb moment or anything. It was definitely a gradual period of time. I was drawn to like the idea of being in ministry, I think, from a young age. I grew up in the Andrew Williams era and all that, and just tons of good times. Definitely some of my favorite memories were the herd days, and that's kind of just, I don't know, I feel like my eyes were opened up a lot in those days, even though I was like, you know, super young. I'm really old now, but amazing times. When I think about it, I think I was drawn to it by just like the types of people that were in ministry, the people I looked up to, like the role models that I could like put my trust in a lot. So I was drawn into ministry, but I didn't know what it was. I was like, dude, I'm not qualified to do most ministry jobs. I'm not a preacher. So it kind of like was through a handful of years that and me almost just walking kind of in obedience with opportunities and what doors would open. And then I eventually landed kind of doing what I'm doing for the last, 10, 12 years, which is like tech director stuff, audio stuff, which honestly, I really feel guilty about even calling it ministry because I like love it so much. It's so fun. It feels kind of not right that I can call this ministry, but at the same time, every time I look at where God has like led our family and the opportunities I've been given, I'm just super grateful. And to be surrounded by like other people that are just pursuing, you know, transformation in people's lives is just, it's humbling, but grateful. So honestly, yeah, I could have never guessed, you know, what like path my life would take. But every time I kind of look back, I'm just filled with gratitude. And it mostly started just with like the influence of the leaders that were in full-time ministry on my life. So.
Well, yeah. So for me, this is kind of a theme that seems to be kind of weaving throughout all these. I'd say pretty simply, it just kind of happened relationally. There was so many people that kept speaking into my life. And so like I said before, I'm a pastor of worship and creative arts. So I just kind of kept getting asked to do this music thing. And man, even in I felt called actually at a pretty young age, or maybe nudged would be a little bit of a better word. And in my flesh, resisted that in many different seasons, but just kept having people that God was using in my life to call me out. And I remember one specific time where actually I was leading worship with Katie. Katie, you'll remember this. This was a pretty crazy period of time. I was leading worship at a funeral. We were both in high school, and I was leading worship at a funeral for our friend Mike Adams, and afterwards, and Andy mentioned Ty Lemke. Afterwards, this guy who's now the senior pastor who I work with, Ty came up to me and said, "Hey, you're meant to do that." And I didn't even remember that he said that, and I for many years I resisted even after that. But looking back, Andrew Williams, you've said that to me before, and looking back, I actually just see that it was people who were being faithful to really just say something to me and see something in me that really I didn't see in myself, and still have those moments where I don't see that in myself, but God sends us people to keep calling us out, and we are, one of the amazing things about ministry is that really by default you are never alone. You are in the body of Christ, and so that's just really such a special thing. It's always with people, and we need people, and so yeah, that's how it happened for me, really relationally.
So yeah, my story I think started pretty young. I felt called into ministry pretty early. I felt that way, I think, in many ways, just because I looked at Jack and Chris Maven and some other people like that. I'm like, that sounds like a really fun job to just do that, like what you guys do. So I think that kind of started it. But also my grandpa, like theology, and he was always like, he was a preacher in the church. My dad did too. He's a preacher now. He wasn't when I was a kid. So it was just kind of like I was around it a lot. And so I just decided to pursue it. I felt called. I felt like God had gifted me. I felt like people were saying that. And then I just pursued it and ran after it as hard as I could. And as I continued to do that, I just kept praying, God, if this is what you have for me, keep opening up doors, and I will reluctantly, but I will walk through them, excitedly walk through them. But if you close them, then I won't, and I know you'll open up another door somewhere else. And he just has continually been faithful to open up doors, and I feel really privileged to be able to be part of people's lives and pastor people and preach and to speak into their lives and allow them to speak into mine. And I feel really humbled to be able to do that. I really love people. I love God's word. I love to study it. I love to preach it. I love to talk about it. And so I just kind of kept walking through doors as God opened them, just being sensitive to his Spirit's leading. And so that's just kind of how it went.
I feel incredibly blessed because I feel, looking back however many years ago that I had you guys in my middle school ministry, and so many times you guys were stuck hearing me teach. And tonight you guys have taught me. Like, there's stuff that I got pulled together, or Corey will make fun of me.
I was waiting.
I am so it's moments like this. People ask a lot of times, what does success look like in youth ministry? And I don't ever have an answer, but like, man, U10, and there's like a bunch of others. We were talking before we started recording, like there's others who are in ministry, pastors and worship leaders or volunteers and doing stuff in ministry. You guys make it worth it. And students, I hope you heard what they said. Like, if you're waiting for like this one boom moment, like that happens sometimes, but that's rare. It's a process. It's the people that come alongside you. It's your willingness to be spirit led and directed, as Katie talked about. All those things that come together, and who knows what God has in store for you. So I am thankful for each of you. Just laughing, thinking about you guys. Crazy moments that we had at camps and missions trips and senior trips with some of you to Wisconsin. Thinking about so every once in a while Brantley and I will just text back and forth Jose Fausto, and nobody, like, it's just like something that only like two people can appreciate, but
I appreciate that.
So
I was there.
Yeah, you Katie and Brantley were on that trip, so but the fact that you guys are all just more than being in ministry, the fact that you guys all still love Jesus is such a blessing. So we stayed on for quite a while last night afterwards, and we just continued to share stories and laugh. The guy that talked about being a tech director at a church down in Atlanta, we talked about the fact when I first started as a student ministry intern. Before I became the youth pastor, I started as an intern, and in the summer of 1997, his name is Josh, and he was. I had a Bible study that met with him on Wednesday nights, and we went through this book called Experiencing God, which is not what you should go through with sixth grade boys. And I said, man, do you remember that Bible study that you and I? And there was a couple of guys there, and I knew they were all there because their parents were making them be there. And he's like, I am so sorry. He goes, I don't even remember it, but I am sorry for how that took place because I know it must have been terrible. And for me, it wasn't terrible because I see him now walking with and loving Jesus and serving Jesus and all those individuals that I got to do that journey with. The blessing was all mine. As I stand here today. So here's my challenge to you students who are watching this tonight. It is May 2020. Fast forward from right now, because that was 23 years ago. Let's just fast forward 20 years from now. May 2040. It seems like 1,000 years away. May 2040. I am still the youth pastor at Solid Rock Bible Church. I am now 63 years old. But there's no way I'm giving this job up. So I'm the 63-year-old youth pastor, and I'm talking to my students on a Wednesday night. And I say to them, hey, I want to share with you guys some stories from some students that were at Ignite and Lighthouse 20 years ago. Who are the 10 that are going to come on screen with me in 20 years? Who are those amongst you that are going to commit your life, not necessarily to full-time vocational ministry, but to a life dedicated to leading others to Jesus? I would love to have you on my Zoom call in 20 years, that you could be the one that's impacting a generation for the cause of Christ. For me, it started out of Philippians 1. For maybe it starts out of Acts as you read it this month, or whatever passages you're memorizing, or wherever God may lead you. I want you to be willing to pray about how God may use you. So you can join me on that Zoom call in May 2040. Let's pray together as we close this night. Lord God, we thank you. I thank you for the testimonies of these 10. I thank you for what they mean to my life, but I thank you on how their words that were recorded can now impact generations to come. And Lord, I pray that you would take some students from our ministry right now and you would use them to build your kingdom. Lord, and it can start in their homes now, and it can start in their schools and with all the people they have connection with. But Lord, I pray that there'd be some who say, you know what, I want to commit my life to this. Lord, I don't even know what that means for them. And like these testimonies tonight, that doesn't mean like there's this clear moment, but Lord, I pray that this would be another step in that process for people saying, this is what I have to do. Lord, thank you for being willing to use us to build your kingdom. To you be the honor, the glory, and praise forever. Amen. Hey, thanks for joining us for week 9 of Youth Group Live. A couple reminders as we close. If you haven't yet, text me what prizes you've won so we can double check it against our list that we'll be going through here tonight. Also, if you're in middle school, we have a game night coming up this Saturday night at 7, and I've been told it's get dressed up night. It's a formal night at youth group middle school game night. So you can put on that shirt and tie, guys. If you have a tie in your house, have your dad tie it for you. Ladies, dress up a little bit nicer because the nicer dressed up ones are going to win some early prizes. Okay, we're also going to be playing some Kahoots, so be ready for that this Saturday night at 7. High schoolers, we are back to our normal small groups. We're just doing those for a couple more weeks. We're just doing those through May. Small groups again, meeting this Sunday night at 7 o'clock. We're back to 7 o'clock. So 7 o'clock Saturday middle school, 7 o'clock Sunday for high school, and everybody back here next Wednesday night at 6:30 for week 10 of Youth Group Live. Thanks so much.